Okay, good day everyone. Today we will continue our discussion on electrochemistry, focusing on Gibbs free energy, cell potential, and chemical equilibrium. So in this lesson, we will explore how these three important concepts are interconnected, the relationship of the delta G, E cell, and the K equilibrium. So as we discuss this, we will connect the equations and concept to better understand how this delta G, E cell, and K EQ are related. So in simple terms, we will learn how electrochemistry is used to predict the direction and extent of chemical reactions. Okay, in this slide, the diagram clearly illustrates the mathematical and conceptual relationship between these three. And this triangle or this diagram shows that if you know one of these three, you can calculate the other two using this specific equations. So first is the relationship between the Gibbs free energy, the delta G here sa upper part ng triangle, and the E cell or the cell potential dito naman sa lower left part ng ating triangle. That gives the equation delta G, which is equal to negative and F E cell, where the delta G, as we know, that this is the standard Gibbs free energy. And as you can see, we have here the sign of note or the degree sign. This means that the energy change of the reaction is the under standard controlled conditions, and the N here is the number of moles of electrons transferred. F is the Faraday's constant, and E cell, of course, ito yung ating standard cell potential. Okay? So, this equation links thermodynamics to the electrochemistry and shows that the maximum electrical work of a system can perform directly related to the change of the free energy. So, next relationship, we have the relationship between the Gibbs free energy naman and the equilibrium constant K. So, yung kanyang equations involved is delta G, which is equal to negative RT ln K, where R is our universal gas constant. T is the temperature in Kelvin, which has the standard temperature na 25 degrees Celsius or 298 Kelvin. And the ln K is the natural logarithm of the equilibrium constants. So this connects thermodynamics to what do you call that? Connects the thermodynamics to the chemical equilibrium, indicating that there is a stability of the products versus reactants depends on the energy difference between these two, the delta G and the K. So finally, we have the relationship between the E cell and the K or the equilibrium constant given us by the equation E cell, which is equal to RT over NF ln K. We all know that the R, ito yung ating universal constant, the temperature in Kelvin, and ito yung number of moles transferred, and F is the Faraday's constant, and the ln K, ito yung ating natural logarithm of equilibrium. So this equation links electrochemistry directly to equilibrium. So it allows us to predict the voltage of a cell based on how far the reaction is from its natural equilibrium state. So now, let's look naman dun sa spontaneity and direction. Itong reaction parameters at the standard state dito sa ating upper right ng ating screen. This table summarizes how the sign and magnitude of p-values determine whether a reaction will occur spontaneous under standard conditions. So as we can see here, if the delta G is less than 0, our equilibrium constant is greater than 1, and E cell also. E cell naman is greater than 0, and our reaction at the standard state is spontaneous. But when our delta G is 0, our K is 1, and E cell is, of course, 0, the reaction standard state is at equilibrium. And if the delta G is greater than 0, K is greater than 1, and E cell is less than 0, our reaction at the standard state is non-spontaneous. So, pagka spontaneous reactions, ibig sabihin it favors the formation of the products. Ibig sabihin, there is a release of energy and produce a positive cell potential and have an equilibrium constant greater than 1. Pagka non-spontaneous naman, it favors the formation of reactants. So they require an input of energy that result in the negative cell potential, as you can see there, or less than 0 ang kanyang cell potential, and meron tayong less than or negative 1 na equilibrium constant K. Okay, next. Okay. To further discuss their relationship, we have here the mathematical relationship between Gibbs free energy and E cell potential, or the cell potential or E cell in electrochemistry, given by the equation the delta G, which is equal to negative ZF E cell. Take note that units of delta G is in joules and the E cell is in volts. So this equation is the bridge that tells us how much the electrical work a chemical reaction actually do, where Z or N is the number of moles of electron transferred between electrodes. F is the Faraday's constant, the number of coulombs per moles of electron. That has a constant number of 96,485 coulomb per mole. Note that 1 coulomb is equals to 1 joule per volt. So, gagamitin natin ito sa ating calculations for the given equation above. So, when both reactants and products are in their standard states, a delta G is equal to negative F E cell. We know that the concentration or our concentration is 1 molar. For solutes and for gas naman, we have the 1 atm, usually at controlled temperature, which is 25 degree Celsius. And when we say standard, we always see or makikita natin yung sign na to, or the degree sign, or what we call the note, pagka nasa standard states tayo. Pansinin natin, pag hindi standard, ganito yung kanyang equation. Pagka at standard condition, meron tayong note na tinatawag, or the degree sign. Okay? Ba tayo? Next, the spontaneity of redox reaction. So recall that for spontaneous changes, delta G, or the at standard condition, is less than 0. So since our equation is delta G cell is equal to negative ZFE cell. We have yung ating E cell is greater than 0. If the E cell is greater than 0, reaction proceeds spontaneously as written. So, if the E cell naman is equal to 0, of course, yung ating reaction is at equilibrium. And pagka less than 0 ang ating E cell, the reaction is non-spontaneous as written. So, reverse reaction proceeds spontaneously. So, this means that positive E cell is equal to the spontaneous reaction pagka negative ang kanyang delta G is spontaneous reaction din sa. So, they always go together but with an opposite sign. Okay, another relationship is the mathematical deviation that relates an electrochemical cell's standard potential E cell to its equilibrium constant KEQ. So, this formula is derived by combining the two fundamental equations for Gibbs free energy. We have the two formula here, the delta G, which is equal to RT, ln K. So, dito nanggaling yung ating RT, ln K, EQ. And yung ating delta G, which is equal to negative ZF. So, dito naman sa ating denominator yung negative ZFE. So, to make this calculation easier, especially before calculators were common, scientists often converted the natural logarithm, the ln, to the common logarithm of log of 10. So, the conversion factor for this is ln k times x, which is equal to 2.303 times the log of 10x. So, this is why, kung mapapansin natin, dito sa second equation natin meron ng 2.303. Ito ay dahil dun sa ating conversion function. So, substituting the values for the constant R and F at 25 degrees Celsius, which is the temperature has 298.15 Kelvin, the equation can be simplified to E cell, which is equal to 0.0592 over C log of KEQ. So, ma'am, paano tayo nag-arrive sa simplified equation? So, here, di ba, meron tayong constant values here, the R and T. We just plug in the values for this, the R, which is equal to 8.314 joules per Kelvin. Ita-times lang natin yung temperature na 298.15 Kelvin over yung ating Faraday's constant, which is equal to 96,485 coulomb per mole, times yung ating factor na 2.303. So, we get the simplified equation, E cell is equals to 0.0592 over C log of KEQ. Kung mapapansin nyo, nawala na yung ating RT and F. And the 2.303 kasi minultiply na natin, kinuha na natin yung kanyang final value, which is 0.0592. So, ito na yung magiging constant natin kung gagamitin natin yung equation dito sa relationship ng E cell and then the KEQ. Okay, so since we have already identified the cathode and anode based on their standard reduction potentials or the E-red, the electrode with the higher E-red value undergoes reduction and serves as the cathode, which is the silver ions to solid silver, which has the E-red 0.80 volts. So, the electrode with the lower E reduction potential value undergoes oxidation and serves as the anode. So ito yung ating solid cadmium to cadmium 2 plus ions, which has a read of negative 0.40 volts. So since cadmium now is assigned as the anode, it undergoes oxidations. So therefore, we reverse its half reaction from reduction to oxidation. So we have now the solid cadmium to cadmium 2 plus ions plus 2 electrons. So when reversing this, the sign of its standard potential also changes. So as you can see here, yung una niyang value of E-red is negative 0.40. But since we reverse it, yung ating sign also changed to positive. Okay? Okay, next step is to calculate the standard cell potential, which is determined by taking the reduction potential of the cathode, where reduction happens, and subtracting the standard reduction potential of the anode, where oxidation happens naman. Then, let's substitute the values. We have here 0.8 volts less yung ating anode value. We have negative 0.40 volts. We get 1.20 volts. So next, we must determine the total number of electrons transferred in the reaction represented by the N4 ating later use. So solid cadmium will produce cadmium 2 plus ions plus 2 electrons and uh, 2 silver ions plus 2 electrons to produce 2 Ag. Okay, to balance the equations, 2 silver ions are used to accept the electron loss by the cadmium. Since the total number of electrons moving through the circuit is 2, so ang ating N is 2 electrons. Okay? To calculate the standard Gibbs free energy change, we multiply the number of moles of electrons transferred by the Faraday's constant and the cell potential, then apply a negative sign to indicate the energy release given by the equation delta G, which is equal to negative N Fe cell. So where N is equal to 2 and F, the Faraday constant, which is equal to 96,485 coulomb per mole. So substituting the values, N, which is equal to 2 times the F, which is 96,485 times 1.2 volts, then we get the value negative 231,564 joules per mole or negative 232 kilojoules per mole. So this negative sign signaling that the reaction is spontaneous. Lastly, calculate the K equilibrium or KEQ or the equilibrium constant of the E cell and then the KEQ. So we'll be using now the simplified formula, which is E cell is equal to 0.0592 over on log of KEQ. Since yung isal natin doon sa ating doon sa ating previous na steps, nakuha na natin yung ating value of 1.2 volts. So, ang gagawin na lang natin is to substitute the values. We have the E cell of 1.20 and then gagamitin na natin yung ating formula. So, 0.0592 over yung N, which is equal to 2, then log of KEQ. So, we get the value of KEQ, which is approximately 3.5 times 10 raised to 40, which shows that the reaction is strongly favors the formation of the products, which is the silver metal and the cadmium ion 2+. Conditions naman, meaning yung concentrations are not 1 molar and then the pressure is not 1 atm. So the actual free energy change or the delta G is different from the values of the standard value ng ating delta G note. So pansin nyo dito, under non-standard, wala tayong yung degree sign dito, nandun tayo sa may right side ng ating equation. So, ibig sabihin, yung ating non-standard condition, gagamitin natin yung delta G na standard condition natin. Okay, so, the equation delta G, which is equal to delta G naught plus RT ln Q. So, this tells us that the energy of the reaction depends on how far the system is from equilibrium, which is measured by our Q or the reaction quotient. So since electrical energy and free energy are related, which is yung ating formula, as the delta G, which is equal to negative Z F E cell, and the delta G note or yung at standard conditions, which is equal to negative Z F E cell. So then this leads to the this relationship leads to the Nernst equations, which tells us the actual cell voltage or the E cell is equal to the standard cell voltage minus the correction factor that depends on the temperature, the number of electrons transferred, and the reaction quotient. So, yung ating final equations, which is equal, E cell, which is the E cell of the standard E cell natin or standard voltage minus yung RT over CF, L, and Q. Okay, this slide outlines the derivation and simplification of the Nernst equation, which is used to calculate the cell potential of an electrochemical cell under non-standard conditions. So when we say non-standard conditions, is when yung concentration natin is hindi siya 1 molar or yung pressure natin is hindi siya 1 atm, which is standard, nasa standard condition siya pagka this is 1 molar and 1 atm ang kanyang pressure. So, this is essentially similar dun sa mathematical derivations natin dun sa ating previous topic of the relationship between yung ating E cell and yung ating equilibrium constant KEQ. So, ang pagkakaiba lang dito is that instead of using the log of KEQ, ang ginamit natin dito sa Nernst equation is meron tayong ln Q, where Q is the yung ating reaction quotient. So, ito na rin yung ating substituting the values at 25 degrees Celsius where T is equals to 298.15 Kelvin. Yung ating Nernst equation will be or can be simplified into E cell, which is equal to the E naught cell less yung 0.0592 over Z log of Q. So, same lang sila ha. Huwag kayong mako-confuse sa ating Nernst and then dun sa ating EQ and KEQ and then the E cell. So, yung ito is log of Q. Dun sa kabila is log of KEQ. Okay? Example problem under Nernst equation is calculate the E cell for the galvanic cell below at 25 degrees Celsius. So, to calculate the cell potential for this galvanic cell, using the Nernst equation, let's follow the following steps. We need to calculate the E cell and then the Q. But of course, we already identified yung ating cathode half cell and yung ating anode half cell. So, by looking at the cell notation, the standard cell potential is the difference between the yung sa reduction natin and then the cathode and the anode half cell natin. So, we get the 0.029 volts. Next, we set up the reaction quotient Q. The reaction quotient is defined as the concentration of the product. Ito na yung ating product. Divided by the concentration of ating reactants, which is Ag plus and the Fe2 plus. Note that hindi na natin sinali dito yung ating pure solids, like yung ating yung Ag na wala tayong charge. Ibig sabihin that is pure solid. So, thus yung sa ating expression, ito na lang yung naka-appear yung ating aqueous solution. So, substituting the given values, yung ating doon sa ating cell notation, yung concentration na nakalagay doon, yung sa ating reactants, which is 0.2 molar over yung concentration nung ating product na meron tayong 1 molar and 0.1 molar. So, which is equal to 2. Okay, so the value of Q now is equal to 2. Now, let's apply the Nernst equation. Ito na yung ating Nernst equation. E is equal to E cell less yung 0.0592 over C log of Q. So, substituting the known values, we have 0.29 volt yung ating E cell, yung computed natin kanina na E cell, less yung 0.0592 over yung ating Z, or ito yung ating electrons transferred, times the log of Q, which is equal to. Then, we obtain E cell is equal to 0.011 volt. Okay, so let's look at this slide, combining reduction half reaction. So as we can see here, meron tayong dalawang half reaction and we have the third half reaction dun sa ating baba, and which we cannot treat this dun sa ating normal na calculations of electrode potential. So nakalagay dito X. So, incorrect, we cannot simply add the electrode potential like yung ating nakasanayan. So, what we're gonna do is to determine yung ating third half reaction by these two given. Of course, i-determine pa rin natin using these two given reaction, but we cannot simply add their E values because this electrode potential is an intensive property. It means its values does not depend on the amount of the substance that cannot be directly added. So in this sense, it does not behave like a true state function that can be combined mathematically based only on initial and final state. So instead, we convert the electrode potential into the Gibbs free energy or the delta G, because unlike yung ating electrode potential, yung ating delta G is unintensive. So, extensive. Intensive kanina yung ating electrode potential, yung ating delta G is extensive. Meron siyang extensive property and a state has a true state function, meaning its values can be added or subtracted using yung ating Hess law. To understand how the standard reduction potential or yung ating E of the third half reaction is derived, we use its Gibbs free energy. So first step is to calculate the delta G for the given reduction half reaction using yung ating formula na delta G, which is equal to negative Fe. So paano natin nakuha itong value ng delta G based dun sa kanyang E cell, and then sa first, and then sa second? Of course, kaya nga meron tayong equation dito. Ito yung gagamitin natin to calculate yung kanyang Gibbs free energy based dito sa ating mga values from ating E cell. So substituting the values for our first half reaction, negative Z, yung ating ilang electron ang yung ating shared or transferred, which is 2 electron, times yung ating Faraday's constant, times yung ating yung ating E cell. So we get the 84,907 joules. So ganun din doon sa ating second half cell, iterate din natin as is gamit tong equation na to. Okay, substitute lang natin yung given values and we get this value of delta G. So for the step 2, combine delta G, okay, values from the above. So we can now add the delta G because sabi nga kanina, Gibbs free energy is a state function, so we can directly add or subtract the values of the to obtain the delta G of the desired na third half reaction natin. So we have here yung sa ating Fe3 plus, yun yung unknown natin, plus 3 electrons to Fe. We have now yung ating total Gibbs free energy na 1051. The average na delta G natin is 1051 joules. So now to calculate yung ating E for the desired reduction of reaction using this formula, we have now 10,517, which is equal to the negative 3 times 96485 E. We have E now, which is equal to 0.036 volt. Okay, alternatively, we can derive a simplified equation that we can use easily. So by using the relationship, we can derive a weighted average formula to find the final potential. So Gibbs free energy, itong Gibbs free energy for Fe3 plus ions to solid iron, which is equal to the sum of the Gibbs free energy of Fe3 plus to Fe2 plus the Gibbs energy for the Fe2 plus to solid iron. So next we use the relationship. Okay, next we use the relationship between the what do you call that? Gibbs free energy and the cell potential, which is equal to, remember yung kanyang formula na delta G, which is equal to negative N less Fe, or negative N siya, or yung negative Z Fe. So that each half reaction is expressed in terms of the number of electrons, yung F, yung ating Faraday's constant, and yung ating standard electrode potential. So after that, we cancel out yung ating F. So since meron siya sa both sides ng ating equation or yung ating reaction, then let's add the values of the N times X. So yan. Okay? So ito na siya. After canceling yung ating constant F, ito na yung ating final formula. So then add the values of N times E for all the half reactions. So this works because yung ating delta G is an additive. So their corresponding NFE values can also be combined. So meron na tayong combination ng ating NFE derived from the delta G. So finally, substitute the values of the Z and E. Yun na yung ating Z and E, the electrons transferred, yung ating electrode potential for the F3 plus 2 ions, and yung ating electron transferred for the Fe2 plus 2Fe. Ito na yung ating electrode potential over yung ating Z, yung ating electrons transferred, which is 3. We have negative 0.036 volts. So, mas mabilis ba? Or yung una? Of course, sabi dito, simplified equation. So, I hope this is easier nga than dun sa ating una. Okay? Hinga muna. We have next topic here is the Latimer diagram. So, here, Latimer diagram is defined as the summary of standard electrode potential of an element that has multiple oxidation states. Example natin dito is yung ating Fe na merong multiple oxidation states. So here, yung sa ating diagram or Latimer diagram natin for Fe, yung ating Fe, okay, meron tayong arrow dito from Fe3 plus to 2 plus, yung ating electrode, yung ating reduction half potential value is 0.771, and from Fe2 plus to Fe is 0.440. So pansinin natin, we have here yung ating Fe3 plus directly to hindi na siya dadaan dito sa ating one step na yung ating loss of one electron loss. So from Fe3 plus directly dun sa ating solid na Fe. And ito na yung ating ginamit kanina or kinompute kanina using the relationship with delta G. So we cannot use directly yung ating plus minus na process. Okay? So, the number above its arrow, ito na nga yung ating standard electrode potential. Ito na yung ating overall. Okay, so just remember, you cannot just add these two, We cannot just add these two electrode potential or the reduction potential to get this. Kasi, yun nga, yung ating electrode potential or the E is intensive. So, magagawa lang natin yung calculation this using or combining the steps of the Gibbs free energy. Okay? So, just remember on this is yung sa ating Latimer diagram, sinasummarize niya yung ating multiple oxidation state values of the standard potential. So, yung pag positive E, favorable siya sa reduction. Okay, ito, favorable for reduction, and negative E, less favorable for reduction. And then, the E values is not an additive. You must use the delta G in combining the steps. So, ito na yung ating data or yung ating summary table to construct the diagram from plus 3 to plus 2. We have the Fe3 plus 1 electron loss to the Fe2 plus. So, meron tayong value of 0.771 plus, and yung ating the second arrow is yung Fe2 plus to Fe Ayan, we have the value of 0.440. And lastly, yung ating, yung overall na reaction natin. Yung ating third half reaction, the plus 3 to 0. Okay, wala na tayong, since naging solid na siya, wala na tayong oxidation state, and it gives 0.036, and this is not coming from these two values, pero nakuha siya dun sa relationship between the E cell and then the delta G. Another example here is the Latimer diagram for copper. It shows here that the most oxidized form is placed on the left. Ito yung ating most oxidized form, yung mas matas ang kanyang oxidations. And on the right side, yung mas mababa yung kanyang, towards the right siya, yung mas mababa yung kanyang oxidation states, towards reduced states or reduction, and it is connected by arrow. So, on the top of the arrow, makikita natin yung kanilang reduction potential. So, nakasulat siya sa upper arrow. Sa copper 2 plus to copper, yung kanyang standard reduction potential is 0.159. And for copper plus to copper, meron tayong 0.520. So, here, meron ulit tayong third na half reaction, which is equivalent to 0.340. Okay, for looking at the direction ng ating yung ating diagram, okay, towards to the right siya. So, this means, so here pala, dun sa ating Latimer diagram, a higher standard potential or standard reduction potential means more easily reduced and they're making strong oxidizing agent. Thus, if the copper plus can be reduced more readily and is better oxidizing agent than copper 2 plus. Now, let's use a Latimer diagram to calculate an unknown standard reduction potential, the copper 2 plus to solid copper. So, ito yung ating unknown, copper 2 plus 2 electrons to solid copper. From the standard reduction potential of these two. Okay, itong value na to, dito natin i-compute yung ating third half reaction by treating it as a weighted average. So, gagamitin natin yung weighted average, not the total or yung minus or plus nitong dalawa. Yung second equation natin or yung simplified equation natin kanina na weighted average nung ating individual. Okay, here is the multi-electron process. First, reducing copper 2 plus to copper plus ions that requires 1 electron or the Z is equal to 1. Second is reducing copper plus 1 electron to solid copper, which gives us which involves 1 electron. That's why Z is equal to E. So, our goal is to calculate the potential for the direct reduction of the copper 2 plus 2 electron to solid copper, which involves ilang electrons? Meron tayong 2 electrons na shared or transferred. So, C is equal to 2. So, let's calculate. Again, because potential, yung standard potential natin is unintensive, so we cannot simply add. So, gagamitin ulit natin yung relationship with the Gibbs free energy. So, since yung ating Gibbs free energy is an additive or an extensive, has extensive property. So, we will use the delta G, which is equal to negative F E. So we have here yung ating weighted average, the S then E, copper 2 plus. Ito yung ating target or ito yung ating goal na i-calculate, which is equal to the individual na delta G nung dalawa. So Z, ilan to? Z is 1. So substituting the values for these two over yung ating copper. Copper 2 plus to copper. So we have 1 electron transfer times ito yung ating e-reduction plus 1 ulit na ito yung nag-participate with the reaction times yung ating 0.50 over yung ating Z nung goal natin na copper 2 plus over copper. We get 0.340 volts. Una ulit. Moving on to our next topic, which is electrolysis. So, electrolysis is a technique that uses electric current to force a non-spontaneous redox reaction to occur. So, it uses or gagamit na tayo ngayon dito sa electrolysis ng electric current. So, it uses or it involves the movement of electrons through an external circuit causing yung oxidation natin at the anode and the reduction at the cathode. So to better understand this, we need to study the electrolytic cell. So where this electrolysis takes place. So electrolytic cell requires an external source of electrical energy. So, kailangan natin ng external source para makapag-generate tayo ng a potential difference between yung sa electrodes natin that flows electrons to flow. So, unlike yung ating galvanic cells, which generates yung ating electrical energy from spontaneous reaction, yung ating electrolytic cell uses electrical energy to drive a non-spontaneous reaction. So here, reduction occurs at the cathode, same lang din nung ating galvanic cell, and oxidation always at the cathode. So, direction of the reactions are reversed. So, same lang na yung cathode natin occurs at the, yung ating reduction occurs at the cathode and oxidation at the anode, but yung sign niya is mare-reverse. So, ngayon yung cathode natin, yung ating negative sign and yung anode natin is the positive sign. So, can be a single compartment or meron din siyang two compartments. So, example natin nung electrolytic cell reactions are yung electroplating and yung ating electrolysis nung mga chemical compounds. Okay, we have here example single compartment. Please take note that here in a single compartment or one compartment or undivided cell, both yung ating cathode and the anode are immersed or nakalubog siya sa iisang solution within a single container, as we can see here in the diagram. So, there is no barrier. So, wala tayong barrier, not unlike dun sa ating galvanic na meron tayong barrier or the salt bridge. So, a voltage source of a direct current using the battery. So, the external battery supplies the electrons. They enter through the cathode and come out through the anode. So, cations migrate toward the negative. Yung cations natin, it migrates toward the cathode. So, kasi siya is negative, the positive will attracted to the negative charge. And of course, yung anions naman natin will migrate dito sa ating anode. Okay, so here, because there is no barrier, or yung tinatawag natin salt bridge, yung products na na-form at the one electrode can sometimes reactin dun sa other electrode. Bakit? Kasi wala nga siyang barrier. Wala nga siyang salt bridge. That's why. Kaya ang nangyayari, nilo-lower niya or this can cause to lower yung overall na efficiency natin. Okay? Double compartment naman or the divided cell, as we can see here, yung ating example is the galvanic and then the electrolytic cells which has salt bridge. And yung ating mga, yung ating electrode are divided into two containers. So, meron tayong same true with the electrolytic cell. Meron din tayong salt bridge. So, ito yung ating example ng ating double compartment. So, this is more efficient kasi meron tayong separations. Walang tendency na magre-react yung ating cathode, yung products will be reacted dun sa ating other container. So, this is more efficient than yung sa ating single compartment. Here we have a table that presents the comparison between the single and the double compartment or yung it compares yung characteristics between the two compartments. For the structure, for single compartment, both electrodes in one container. Dun sa ating double compartment naman is separated by a membrane or a diaphragm or yung ating salt bridge. So, sa complexity, simple lang yung ating single compartment and inexpensive. Dun sa double compartment, of course, more complex and costly. For efficiency, can be lower due to product mixing. So, since nasa isang container lang sila, there is a tendency yung product natin to be mixed with the other. So, dun sa double compartment natin, generally, higher and more stable. Even though, mas mahal siya, yung kanyang stability naman niya is mataas. Okay, for the ion connection, direct contact with same electrolyte, samantalang sa double compartment is meron siyang salt bridge or permeable membrane. Next is electrolysis of water. So this explains the electrolysis of water where electrical energy is used to split the water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen gas. So the reaction occurs through two simultaneous half reaction where water can be both reduced and oxidized. So reduction at the cathode, where water molecules gain 2 electrons to produce hydrogen gas and the hydroxide ions. And oxidation at the anode, where 2 molecules loses 4 electrons to produce oxygen gas. So overall reaction, we have 2 molecules of water decompose into 2 hydrogen gas and 1 oxygen gas. Okay, so please take note or take a look at the test tube. So sa test tube naman tayo titingin. Okay, so nasa right side ng ating slide. Okay, please look at the image, yung may labeled na H2. Meron siyang yung kanyang gas yung kanyang gas is mas madami kaysa dun sa labeled as O2. Parang twice as much yung kanyang gas dun sa kanyang O2. So, this matches yung chemical equation natin dun sa overall na meron tayong 2:1 ratio. Yung gas natin dun sa H2 is 2, dun sa ating 1 lang ang kanyang molecules of yung sa ating yung gas. So, mas madami, 2 ito, then 1 part lang yung gas ng ating oxygen. For the cell potential naman, so yung total potential natin is negative 2.06 volts. So, because of this value, which is negative, kaya yung reaction natin is non-spontaneous. So, meaning, pagka non-spontaneous, we need or we require external power source. Ito na yun. Meron tayong external power source like yung pack of battery dun sa ating ito yung sa side na to occur. So kailangan natin kasi non-spontaneous yung ating reaction because as it appears dito sa ating total E cell na negative 2.06. Okay, next is Faraday's law of electrolysis, discovered by Michael Faraday, which states that the amount of substance produced or consumed yung ating end at an electrode during electrolysis is directly related to the quantity of the electrical charge which passes through the cell. So, yung consumed end natin, directly proportional or related dun sa ating electrical charge QC. So, to calculate the amount of the substance N in moles, we divide the total electric charge. So, since it is directly proportional, we can use this or yung kung given values is itong mga to. So, we can use also yung QC which is equal to the Q over the FZ. So, we divide the Q which is the electric charge over yung ating Faraday constant times yung moles natin na moles of electron transferred. Okay? Okay, so this relationship allows us to determine exactly how much yung mass of the material will plate onto an electrode if you know its molar mass and the amount of electricity used. So, what is its connection to mass M? Okay, bakit meron tayong M dito sa ating equation? So, to connect the variables from the first set of equation to final, we substitute the definition of the electric charge into the mass formula. So, since N dun sa ating previous na slide is equal to M all over yung molar mass, we can combine these equations to find the actual mass of the substance. So, we arrive now at M over molar mass which is equal to the Q, yung electric charge natin over yung Faraday's constant times yung Z. So, by rearranging this, we get the final equation of M which is equal to M times Q all over F times Z. So, in electrolysis experiment, it is typical that electric current I rather than the quantity of electric charge is measured. So, the relationship between Q and I is given by Q which is equal to I times T where yung I natin is the electric current in amperes and T is the time in seconds. So, note that yung ating 1 coulomb is equal to 1 ampere times second. So, by replacing yung ating Q in the first formula natin, so pag i-replace natin tong Q dito sa first formula natin, ito yon, we arrive at the final equation na M is equal to ito yung molar mass natin. Instead of Q, IT na yung ating pinalit. All over yun pa rin, FZ. So this final equation allows us to calculate the exact mass of a substance deposited on the electrode simply by knowing how much current you run or yung ating amperes, how long yung you run it or yung sa time natin na seconds, and the molar mass of the substance, yung big letter M natin, and yung ating electrons per ions or yung transferred siya per ions or yung ating letter Z. Now, let's try solving a sample problem for this Faraday's law of electrolysis. So, let's calculate the mass of palladium produced. So, ito yung ating unknown by the reduction of palladium 2 ions during the passage of 3.20 amperes of a current through a solution of palladium 2 sulfate for 30 minutes. So, meron tayong mga kailangang i-convert na units. So, we have the molar mass or the MW of PD, 106.42 grams per mole. So, we need to determine yung ating mass of the palladium produced. So, for our calculation, we need to follow a logical flow for the electrical units to hanggang sa kanyang physical mass. First, we need to convert the time, which is 30 minutes, into seconds. So, 30 minutes times 60 seconds over 1 minute, we get the 1,800 seconds. So, we will plug in the given values. We have yung ating molarity or yung molar mass or MW molecular weight, yung 106.422 grams of PD or moles, times yung ating current, which is 3.2 ampere, times yung ating time is 18 seconds, over 96,485 coulomb per mole of electrons, times yung 2 moles of electron, yung ating Z, over yung moles of PD. So, take note that yung ating 1 coulomb is equals to 1 ampere second. So, we can cancel out yung ating ampere and second for the coulomb, and for the moles of electron, we can cancel moles of PD. So, meron tayong grams of PD as the final answer. How long in hours? In hours naman ngayon, must a current of 5 amperes be maintained to electroplate 60 grams of calcium from molten calcium chloride. So, molar mass given 40.078 gram. Now, the rearranged version of Faraday's law, the time is equals to M times Fz over Mi. So, substituting the given value, 60 grams of calcium times yung 96,485 yung ating constant na Faraday, times yung ating Z, yung 2 moles of electron over moles of calcium, all over yung ating molar mass, times yung ating ampere or yung ating current, we get 5,778 seconds. So, ang ating hinahanap, how long in hours? So, we will convert yung 5,778 seconds into hours. Times 1 over 36 seconds, we have the final answer, 16 hours. Last but not the least, electroplating. It is a process that uses an electric current to reduce dissolved metal cations so that they form a thin coherent metal coating on an electrode. So, in this specific setup for silver plating, the cathode there is the object being plated. Ito yung ating spoon. Ito yung object being plated. Where yung ating silver ions from the solution gains an electron, transform back into a solid silver metal. So, and the anode natin is a solid piece of silver Ag that dissolves into the solution as silver ions. Okay, by losing its electrons. So, the result is a uniform, decorative, or protective coating of a silver bonds to the surface of the spoon natin. Okay, so that concludes my presentation for today. If you have any questions or need clarifications, please feel free to ask. Okay, thank you and God bless everyone.